Did it with the phone. Did it with the phone, you know? What does that mean? Welcome to live chat. I don't know how to chat it. Can I make this bigger or smaller or what? That's all my shit. Yeah, we want that stuff. I don't know if the channel can be on there, but so I had computer difficulties. So, team, gang, friends. Look at this move. No, that's not. There we go. Look at that move. But the camera's over there. I gotta look over there. You don't want to see my damn thing here. Can you make this come in or no? No, you can't. Welcome to live chat. Where's the chat? Right there? Top chat. Live chat. Cancel. So how do you chat? What is this? So. Oh, cool. What does that do? Don't want bubbles. Oh, does that give you a background? Oh, what's this? Holy back. That's weird, huh? Oh, purple haze. What's that? Oh, why is everything backwards? Huh. Everything's backwards. I don't know what I'm doing, but I tried to stream it on the computer, and it doesn't work. I was on there for a second, and then the computer doesn't work. How do I get this crap off? Boom. What's this? Boom. Save, share, mute microphone. Well, I had other. Again, I gotta look over there. I had people on, and so I golf on the Live Golf 3, Swafford, Gooch, and Jones were denied access to the PGA Tour playoff this week. There would have been three more guys, one more tee time. That would have made it 125 because three other players are not playing, taking the week off. So the field would have been 125. Now it's 122. Ricky Fowler's in the field, who just split up with his caddy today. So that's they're probably crying over that, I guess. But who knows? People are due to happen. So I'm on my phone now. So if I keep looking over there, I'm not sure where to look because the computer didn't die, but something weird happened. So I was on there, getting it going great, and boom, it's gone. So, God, I can't breathe. My ears having a little trouble with that. So my drink is over there. So hopefully we'll get someone in here soon, and then I can talk to people instead of myself. I don't know how long I go for. I'll wait over there, over there. See some of the pin flags in the background, but yeah, Live golfers now they have the antitrust law against the PGA Tour, the suit for the future tournaments, the majors and all that stuff. They're not part of the PGA Tour, the majors. No, and the PGA Tour is not part of the PGA of America. I'm a PGA America member, but I'm not a PGA Tour member. Tour is Class A3. They are PGA members too, but to play, you got to go qualify and all that, which that's not going to happen at this point in my career. So people think the PGA and the PGA Tour, they're kind of they're related, but they're not the same. So the PGA Tour is being sued by individual players. Yeah. So those three to try to get in this tournament, and the other 11 for the future, saying they're stopping them from making a living and making money and playing on the both tours. Where the PGA Tour is saying, uh, you made your bed, now you got to sleep in it. You do the consequences of, in London, so if you get permission, I believe you play, you're in trouble. You get suspended, which is what they did. So banned is not the word you want to use. Banned is not the word you want to use. God, my nose. So, hopefully we'll get someone popping in here soon. I'm not sure what this looks like on, see, I wish I was looking there, because that's where I should be looking. But the fucking phone microphone's over there. Over there, over there, over there. There's my Salem Country Club flag, US Open. What's that one? Beth Page, maybe? Those are all backwards for some reason, but, yeah, that's too bad. I had about 5 or 6 or 7 people. For me, that's a lot on here wanting to talk. The damn thing goes down. You went down. If people could see me on that, then we're in trouble. But that's what happened to me. That's too bad because I was psyched things were going to be going good. I was very happy about that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Hopefully someone will pop in here soon enough. You can see my tour bag. Where is it? Oh, it's right behind me. Oh, there it is. So if I slid over here like this, I could be really cool. If I slid back like that, you know what I mean? Oh, those are from the Masters. These are from the Masters. I've had those for 25 years. Masters tickets. Hey, what's happening? So I'm just doing this on my phone because the computer down. So everybody left because I was down for 15 minutes, blank screen because of the damn computer. I don't know what happened. I was on it all day. Everything was great. And I come to do this, and then it just, boom, it goes down on me. I don't know if I need more RAM or memory or all that shit, but and everything's backwards. I think I got the camera backwards, but I kind of want to see. If I flip it around, everything will look normal to you, but I won't be able to see if someone says something, if there's a chat thing here. So I'm using my iPhone. Top chat viewing options, top chat, live chat. I don't know which is which. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy. How do I chat? I can chat. Can I say something? Again, I've never done this before. Cancel. I've never done this before. What do I do? Do I say something? Hi, folks. All messages are visible. Welcome. Learn more. Oh, shit. No. I don't want that. Oh, no. Open where? So where does the chat come from? I don't know. I don't know. So let's see. What do I have I could show people? Well, so if you're watching this on a videotape, so the live guys won they lost. Damn it, I wish I was able to. They lost it. They lost it. TRO. Event. I'm not sure where they were on the list. Out for sure. So field to be 122. I think I said that already. 122 because three guys aren't playing. Daniel is one of them. Tommy's Fleetwood, I think, is one of them. It's someone else. How about that win by Tom Kim, huh? How about Tom Kim? Pretty damn good. A funny story about him. he was, I think he's born time, and his name is June Young, but he wanted to change it to an American name so he could fit in with fit in better. It just will obviously if he's going to be in America. It just makes sense, right? So he's picking between Buzz Lightyear, Buzz Lightyear, and Thomas the Train. Great name, Thomas Tommy. He picked Thomas the Train Kim. Thomas, his middle name is the Train Kim. Thomas the Train Kim. So we used to actually, one of my son's names is Thomas. We had Thomas the Train Kim. So I was talking about Tom Kim, whoever just popped in here, because the other people just left. I had computer issues. You probably, I don't know if you heard me or not. I'm not sure who this is, but, oh, and they're gone. What's happening? But, so Tom Kim named himself Thomas the Train Kim, shortened to Tom Kim. And he won on the Asian Tour a couple times. He won on the Asian Developmental Tour. Just worked his way up. And now he's a PGA Tour winner. He got his card. He had temporary status. Boom. Won by 5 after making a snowman on the first hole. You know, not often do you make a snowman on the first hole and win by 5. 5. Excuse me. Is this thing working or what? Is it people out there? I don't want to look at you. You're not out there. This is nuts. Yeah. You reach a monthly plan. You're in a neat group, but user stream is often as you. Okay. I don't know. It's all crazy. I gotta get a drink. I mean, hats of champions. I need to drink. Tom Kim. Kim. So hopefully I'll be able to come back. I see a couple of people popping in. We had a few here. We had some good talk going on my computer, and then computer went down. So I'm using my iPhone at the moment, watching the golf, listening behind me. I think that's a lawyer talking about the live thing. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I can chat on here. If you can, if you want to type something in there, maybe I can see it on my phone or have a question. Because doing it on your phone like I am now, I don't have all the options I have with the computer. The computer's fucking broken or not working. So I'm just using the phone to finish up and try to get it fixed for tomorrow. But Matt Adams goes on at 8 tomorrow morning, and I saw he had a bunch of people on there. So I'm going to try to go on at 9 in the morning and follow Matt Adams' show and see what he has to say. You know what I mean? So maybe we could get a bunch of people from him, and and I actually will talk back to the crowd and talk back to people. Don't just talk. I'm just going to talk. Good job, but he just talks. It doesn't questions to people, so he's just putting on a show. My idea of this was talking to people and asking me questions about your game, about the live tour, anything. Just having, if we could get 20, 30 people in here, just have some good golf talk, unlike Twitter. So I go on Twitter, let me get the old iPad out, you know what I mean? I go on Twitter, and someone asks me a thing about their golf swing and things like that. Now, I'm a teaching pro, I teach for a living, so I do this for money, I do, I'm not going to lie. That's okay. You know what I mean? I do it for money, and I'm glad to help people. But I can't get it all out for free. So that's where, there is a donation button on Twitter if you would like to donate to the cause. you know, ask, you get some help with your game, I'll be glad to help you. But it's a lot easier. You know, it's got to have, you know, people, you know, it's easier to talk about it than tweet and all that stuff. So, like I said, I'm glad to help anybody, and I always will. But it is my job. You know, it is my job. You know, and eventually, you know, if I can get more viewers and shit like that, we're going to be on. You know, we're going to get monetized and be able to make some money doing it. And through my online lessons, which I'm doing, you know, they're starting to pile up too, which is great. That's keeping me busy. You know, these online lessons are keeping me busy. So that's a good thing. You know what I mean? That is a good thing. So I'm going to click on Gillis. That's the wrong account. Add account. Logging in and out of this YouTube stuff is just pain in the ass. Not even close to being not a pain in the ass. That's all it is a pain in the ass. You know, it really is. So it's a matter of I think it's 262626. Yeah. No. What the hell is it? No clue. What's my password? Oh, that's it. Oh Lord, help me. These damn passwords. Tell you what. Pain in the ass. Password Facebook. Ricky2626. Let's try that one. That's the cat's name. Yay! Yay! Hey, what are we talking about? That's what I'm talking about. Oh, there's the chat right there. So that's me on there, you know? That's me doing it, you dummy. Dummy. I get it. I do. I'm getting ahead now, you know? Say, all right, what's happening out there, folks? Someone else is here, thank God. Everybody left me. So I'm using my iPhone because the computer went. Oh, what's wrong? Let's talk. You gotta give people. You got. We got damn computer. This damn computer don't work. It's a pain in the neck. I'll fix it. I don't know why it's so slow for tomorrow, but the channel's growing. We're up to 579, which isn't bad. You know, we're up to 579. What can I tell you? Things are going good. You know, we need more, and we can talk golf. Wow, that sounds weird. Like, you know what I mean? The voice is weird. Who knows? Who knows? It's all a matter of learning curve. It's a learning curve, man. What's today? Tuesday? 9:45. I've been doing this for that long. Shit. So I missed the golf chat on Twitter. Shit. Dang it. Damn. I was hoping to do the Twitter thing, get the golf chatters over here, but oh, I forgot to send them a. Oh, I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna do it right now. Dang it. What did I do with that? No, shit. Sorry about that. That one. We need people to talk about. You know what I mean? We gotta go to see. I want to talk more. I can't talk more. Where do I get more? Where do I get more? Why can't I say more on this? Twitter. Huh. Dang it. See, that's not working out very good. Why wouldn't it let me do that? I don't understand it. Reply. What's funny? So let's go there. So let's go there. I can't tweet. Oh, dude. Hello, people. Hello, 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 hello. Why is this not working? I don't want that on there. I don't want that on there, folks. Don't want that on there. Yeah, these computers are all messed up. I'm getting a drink real quick. I'm getting a drink real quick. BRB. You gotta get a drink, buddy. Hello, folks. I'm back, baby. I had to get a drink. Sorry. So I had problems with the computer. I needed to get a drink, man. A&W. Computer problem. So I went to the iPhone. I figured it out. It's been on for like 20 minutes. I didn't even know it. It's crazy. But welcome to the show or the channel, whatever you call it. Everyone else left me, so I just put a thing on Twitter. Maybe we can get some people talking about what's happening in golf in that little chat. Ask me, tell me questions, whatever you got to do, and we'll talk about it. Golf swing, whatever you want to talk about. It's easier than Twitter. Typing on Twitter is a pain in the ass. Ah, it's beautiful. Ah, beautiful. So it's turned around because I want to see the chat and see my face. I got to look over there, computer. This is on my iPhone, so it's weird. It's a weird deal. You can see all my fancy trophies back there. That's just to make me look cool, champion that I used to be. Yeah, the live thing. It's bringing golf to the forefront. Now, people are talking about it. People talk about it, and it's better than talking about Biden, Trump, all that stuff, the coof, the jab, and all that crazy Depp and Heard. We're just talking golf. It's litigation in golf. At least it's golf. It's something with golf. Whatever side you're on, I don't know. I'm on the side of golf. I just want golf to win. And the problem I have with the Saudi thing is, from what I understand now, I don't know for sure. I don't see the documents, but FedEx is owned partially by Saudi. The girls' tour, Aramco, I forget how to say it, Aramco, is Saudi. PGA Tour Superstore is Saudi. Much better subject to talk about. Yes, Michael, absolutely. No doubt. Where are you from, my friend? Yeah, hopefully we'll get more people coming, I had him earlier, but I lost him because I had computer issues. So now I'm doing this on my phone, kind of half-assed. But yeah, I don't know if you watched this Matt Adams show in the morning. Michael Naples. Ooh, nice, nice. Where did I play over there? I used to live in Jupiter. Naples. What was the name of it? Bonita Springs? Bonita Bay? Bonita Bay Club, I think. I had like 3 courses, maybe. Long time ago. It's been a while. And another course, hammock something, I think. It's nice. Half-ass is better than True. I'm drinking root beer. I'll prove it to you. Prove it. I've been known to have a fireball here and there, but not today, my man. Not today. Yeah, and so I'm new to this streaming thing and internet. Hammock Bay. I think, yeah, Hammock Bay and Bonita Bay or Bonita Springs. I'm not sure. A long time. My buddy was the head pro at one of them, and he let me play there. Is it? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. It feels like Naples around here. Like it's raining for half an hour. The animals were pairing up. You know what I mean? The animals were pairing up. It was raining so bad. But it hasn't rained all summer. It's a drought. My grass is yellow. It pissing me off. It was a drought, so we needed the rain. But it was 100 today, and I'm in Boston, and it's a lot for here, you know. Bonita Bay, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, the Bonita Bay is the one. Yeah, it was awesome. A lot of forced carries on one of them. So I don't know how some of the members play it, but maybe they move up a tee where they should be, I guess, right? So yeah, that's. But I spent most of my time in West Palm, Jupiter area from like 88 to 2002. Uh, and then once I had offspring, I went down here and there. Weymouth, oh sweet, sweet. Yeah, I used to be at the Sharon Spring Valley Country Club. Oh, there was a nice couple of nights in Weymouth we used to go. Oh, what was one of them name? Oh, it was like a sports bar. It had you could shoot basketball. It was a nightclub type deal, but it was like a sports bar nightclub. It was awesome. I forget the name of it. Long time ago. Long time ago. I'd know the name if I heard it, but yeah, I'm in Peabody right now. Oh, that's good. P. Foxborough, yes, my buddy was the pro there for a while. What was his name? Was Louis Rivers. Chris Congdon? No, he didn't. Did he play there? Yeah, I think he played there too. Yeah, it's a good course. Yeah, it's not easy. You know, it's not easy. A good ones down there. I'll speak to you in Oh, nice. Paul Parker was the pro. He was the pro there back when I was down in that area. Decided you want with this live side, or you just want golf like me, you know. And I guess that's my opinion. I don't really like it. Well, you probably didn't hear what I said because the computer was off, but I don't care about this. You know what I mean? I don't care. I just want to watch golf. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my god, I hope Phil Mickelson is in, or Cam Smith. You know, I don't care what they do with their own lives. I just want to watch golf. You know what I mean? Now, does that make me a blood money Saudi guy? I don't know. You know, I don't think about that because it seems like they're in everything. From what I was looking at, they're in FedEx. They're in the PGA Tour Superstore. They have money in that. I don't know what to do or what to think. Correct. Right. Isn't that weird? Like a lot of them are the misfits, right? Like that the misfit toys there. That show. Yeah. Bryson. People don't like him. Patrick Reed. You know. Kepka. DJ. People seem to like, but he is a strange fella. Um, Gooch. I don't know much about him. And I think the other younger guys just needed the money. Took the money. You know. And now they'll maybe quit this and then work their way back up. Yeah. Dennis. Yeah. So who was in well, Charles Howell, Chucky, or Bubba Watson, right? Another one. Charles Howell. Now, if Cam Smith is really going, because they asked him dead on, "Are you going?" He said, "I don't want to talk about it." That's kind of what Kepka said. Remember at the U.S. Open, he goes, "Oh, let's talk about something else." And the next day or week, he jumped ship. So, what would you do if someone said, "Here's $100 million"? You know, how much do you need to? Yet Cam Smith has the career that um, Davis Love has. He'll make $600 million playing golf. Think about that. You taking off? I didn't see that. Oh, no, hold on a second. Uh, how do I? The European guys. Yeah. Right. Oh yeah. See, the European guys. I thought you were leaving. Yeah. They don't care. See, the American thing again with 9/11, and I don't know who was in those planes. I thought Bin Laden was the guy that I know he wasn't in the plane, but I don't know where he lives or where he's from. We bombed the shit out of Afghanistan, not Saudi Arabia, I just saw our president, shaking a guy's hand a month ago. There's other tournaments in Saudi Arabia, Dubai and all those. They play over there. So, but Lee Westwood and them, they're not American. They live in America now, but they're not technically American. So, they're still getting shit though. People are still giving them shit. And the 9/11, people are boycotting their houses and. See, I don't know. I don't know what I would do. Would you want to? You'd have $100 million, and then you're playing for more money. Now they say they have to give some of that back. They take it out of their earnings. I don't know. Again, I don't know if that's true or not. But even so, $100 million, a lot of money. Would you be able to sleep at night? If someone's out front of your house, you 9/11, whatever, or getting bashed on Twitter. Getting bashed on Twitter, right? That's a lot of money. A lot of money. And Poulter was getting booed. Now, I played in front of people before. You can hear it. You don't like hear it, but you can hear it. You know what I mean? A boo. You hear it if you've been booed before. I don't think I've booed too many. Just like 6 people watch me, but yeah, 2 million for Phil. If that's accurate, wow. His rest of his life, his rest of his family for till 2000, 2100, 2100 is all set for money. You know what I mean? 200 million. Plus, he's already got, I'm sure, 150 million somewhere. Well, he gambles it, right? He may not have it all, but he's earned a lot of money. And like I said, if Cam Smith has the career that Davis Love had, 21 wins or something, he'll make $600 million on the PGA Tour. No, you come on, man. You got heckled, but you probably made all the shots and pissed him off, right? See, my problem with these guys, him and Hack, they're 100% against the live, 100%. So watching them, this is this is biased. They're not giving. They hate it. They call it the Saudi League. You can't watch him. He's 1,000,000% against it. Freddie Couples could make bank. Yeah. Right, wait, no, they wanted him to go. Wow. Yeah. I think he's all set. He lives in where does he live in? And puts his feet up. Yeah, some guys won't do it. The older guys, Davis Love. They're so. I don't know how old he's got to be. 50, almost 60, I think. Right, Davis Love. He wants to. I heard him today. He wants to win or pass the most PGA Tour events started. Davis Love. I don't know how many he's got. I have to look that up. Who holds that record? Oh, damn it. Mark Brooks has the most PGA Tour events started. Davis wants to pass him. Thank you for your service, my friend. Yes, I do online lessons, and I'm doing service. Can send me the video. I think he's in the Marine. One guy's in the Navy, one guy's in the Marine, and it's the technology is just amazing. Where they can send me their video, and I can critique them, and then we talk via chat and text and on here, and then I can see their swing, and I make sure to show them the grip and all that stuff. The technology is amazing. That I don't have to be at the driving range to help people anymore. It's great now because it's 100 out. I don't have to stand in the sun, and I do have a bad knee and feet, so I stand on my feet all day. Sucks. So I can give lessons from my bedroom here. You know what I mean? And it's still obviously nice to see it in person, but it's not that hard to do. If people pay attention and just do the right drills and hold the club right. If you don't hold the club right, Michael, you're screwed. So everything not they're talking about live, but every time you get an instruction from someone, we assume you're holding the club right, and I don't mean grip. You know, let me stand up, left or right. Strong or weak. It's where you have it in your hand. You know what I mean? Do I have a club here? It's, I want to break them, and I'm kind of in a tight spot here because of the, but you know, it's where you get the club in your hand. You know what I mean? Right there, not in the palm of your hand. So if you're holding it up here, you're screwed. As a righty, this is my left hand. You got to get it down there. So assuming you're holding it right, then we tell you what to do. So if you're not holding it right, and I tell you to do this drill work, well, you weren't holding it right, you know, or you weren't aiming right. So that's a lot of it too. It's hard to coach people without being able to talk to them, and that's what I tell the Twitter people: come on here, or text me, or call me, and we can talk about it. Because I can't give you a lesson on Twitter, or I'll give someone a tip on there, and then I'll get bashed by other pros. That's stupid. Fuck off. They work. I've been doing this a million years, man. They work. I know what works. I've been doing it a lot, and I wouldn't tell someone to do a drill that doesn't work. Yeah, some are better for others, and you know, obviously, but it seems like some of the golf pros, there's like a I don't know if they're jealous or that they have to be right. You know, it's like I don't go on Twitter and bash anybody's golf. Whatever they say, if there's a drill, whatever, I just good job. You know, I hope it works. I don't know, stupid or you know, and I don't know. Like they have to be the king of the hill with the golf stuff. You know, so some works for you, use it. Or don't do it. You know, or if I it works, then and it works because I've done it, and everybody I've taught gets better doing it. So that's what I pass on. If you don't think it works, then you don't have to do it. You know what I mean? So absolutely, Michael. So I'm a minimalist when it comes to teaching. So I try to keep it. That's what the drills are for. So this YouTube channel's new. Like I said, it's been about a month. I've uploaded some older videos. I got more coming. I don't know if you remember WB56 up here. I was on that channel a long time ago. But with Frank Malico was the sports guy. So we used to do tips, like golf little skits. We won Emmy Awards for that. I don't have them here, unfortunately. He has them, but nice, nice, right. So a minimalist. So, you know, like obviously you got to hold it right, how to aim and all that. But I don't come in with a lesson. And WB56, the Sports Zone, it was called. On Sunday nights, I'd be on there. Did that for about 12 years. So what would happen was Frank would be in the fairway in a divot, right, and he'd look around. It was like a little skit, and he'd look around. He'd kick the ball out of the divot and get ready to hit it, and I'd pull up in the cart. Frank, what are you doing? And he'd go, oh, you saw that? I go, yeah, what are you doing? You can't do that. It's against the rules. And he'd say, oh, I don't know how to hit out of a divot. And I'd show him how to hit out of a divot. And in between trees and all types of little tricks. In the bunker, he'd throw it out. So, yeah, we won Emmy Awards for that. Local, you know, regional Emmys. Nothing, I wasn't on TV for that, nothing. But those were on TV, obviously. So those are going to be uploaded. And I'm uploading a ton more videos to help people. But again, I want to help people by talking to them. So this channel is new. I'm on Twitter all the time now, trying to get people to come to the channel here and talk about it. Because again, I was watching Matt Adams' show this morning at 8, and he doesn't even acknowledge the people. He wouldn't talk to you. He just talks like he's a talking head. He just reads a. This is. Someone's outside. This is what happened. Sorry, I thought someone was stealing my car. You know, he just he doesn't talk to the people, and that's what I want is talk to you and help you and talk about it, and you know what I mean. Not just me reading off a thing. That's what that's for. You know, you can't talk to these guys. You know, you can't just call up the golf channel and hey, what do you think about this? They're gonna tell you to pound sand, right? So I'm moving my golf business to online, and again, and doing this. Community where we can chat and talk. Now he said he was the only one that does live golf talk, and he's wrong. Obviously, I do it now, but just starting to do it. But I don't do it every day. He does it every day. I'm going to do it, you know, as needed. But I don't know when the best time to do it is, or when people want to come on or not. And people don't even know I'm doing it. That's the thing is, I only have like 580 subscribers, which is not a lot. I guess it's not. You know, so I need to get, you know, like 5, 10,000, no more. One guy, Rick Shields, has like 2 million, and he's awesome at it, and he does great with the videos and all that. So he's like one of my goals is to get, if I get 2 million, that would be insane. But you know, get as many as I can, and it's going to be a slow round, a slow walk up. But what else are we talking about? We're going to stick with the gas. I'm sick of buying Trump, sick of everything. You know, I just want to talk golf. I did my whole life. I played golf, teach golf, live golf. Live golf. That's pretty. You know, and that's what we do. And why not have a nice place where we can come and talk about it, have a nice forum to talk about it with like-minded people, you know? Because they're on Twitter. I don't know if you're on Twitter or not, but I asked a question about, do you have a set of clubs that matches? Like, I'm a Titleist guy. I'm all Titleist. Everything's Titleist. My shirt's FootJoy, Titleist, blah, blah, blah. That's because I have a deal with them. But most people have a mixed set. You know, there are a few people who are loyal. Yeah, my handle is at TGGI, so Tom Gillis Golf Instruction, at TGGI. So I asked that question, what kind of, I got probably 400 people. Oh, nice. Nice. Good choice. What do I have in my hand here? I still have the, I've got 1,000,000 sets. This is the old one here. 916 or something. AP2. AP2, one of the AP2s there. But I think these are my sons, actually. But I got 400 responses, you know, on Twitter. And then I try to talk to people, and you can't. You know, someone will ask me a question, oh, what do I do if I'm doing this? And you can't talk to them on Twitter. And I'm like, well, check out YouTube. Go to YouTube where I can talk to you. You know, you may not be able to talk back to me, but you can ask me a question, you know. Oh, nice. Yeah. Oh, those were good. How about, here, I'll show you one more. This is, I posted this on the Twitter. Oh, my foot. I get the set of these. This is my 1-iron, but where's the camera? So these clubs were, I love the 1-iron. No named. They're Titleist, obviously. No named. So back in the day, in the 80s, I went to Florida and I hooked up a fancy country club, and one of the big shots in Wilson Sporting Goods was a member. And I think I just had shitty Titleist woods. Remember those persimmon yellow woods? Back in the day, they weren't that great of a golf clubs. Back if they just didn't have them. But Wilson did. Wilson had good clubs. So he hooked me up head to toe, everything Wilson. I mean, I got everything. It was crazy. Wilson. And then I came back up north. I started playing tournaments and blah blah blah, and I was switching to Titleist, but they didn't have good clubs. So they basically copied the Wilson club. That's what this is. It looks like a Wilson FG17 if you look at it. Is that dirt? It looks like, and they just stamped Titleist on the bottom. You know what I mean? So it's a copy of the Wilson clubs that I was using. So back then they did that with a lot of clubs. So a lot of tour pros they were playing Wilsons, but they were Titleist, or they were playing Titleist, but they were Wilson, or Founders Club, or McGregor's. They made individual sets for them. They don't do it now anymore because the clubs are so much better. You know, they do modify them a little bit. That the tour clubs aren't quite the same. They're a little smaller heads or whatever. You know what I mean? And they don't. You know, a lot of them glue them in. They don't switch them. They don't screw them in or nothing. They're glued in, and they put what's that called? Hot melt on them. I forget the name of it, but you know, they don't screw them in. They some do, of course. But so I have it with me. Shit. So I invented a little putting mirror. I invented a little putting mirror, right? Just a little square mirror. So I used to, from like 2015 to 2018, I stopped and I traveled the tour with Ken McDonald, who is another tour rep, with my training aid, and this guy Bernie Garson, who makes Garson grips, and this other guy Scott Garrison, who has a tour band, his own tour band. So TaylorMade has one, Titleist has one. They all have them. He has his own. You know what I mean? That's how good he was. I think he was with TaylorMade for a bunch of years and went on his own, got the van, got some sponsors for the van. He's doing Tiger, VJ Singh, a bunch of guys that he's been doing for years. They stick with him. So he'll re-grip them on the spot and, reshaft them and all that. So I spent a lot of time with him, watching him, what he does. I mean, I know how to reshaft the club and re-grip a club, obviously, but how they grind them and the wedges and sandpaper the grips. There's so much to do. So I'm going to have him on once I get a bigger crowd. You know, on here talking about that. Maybe even go to one of the tournaments next year and go down live and film in his tour van. But for him to have a self-sustained tour van without any manufacturer behind him, that's pretty good. Because the tour van's got to be 500 grand. I mean, it's huge, you know. And he's just good at what he does. And excuse me. And the players find him. So getting back to that, yeah. So with my mirror, going to all the tournaments, and I met all the other tour reps and all that, and you just learn so much. But everything is different. The Scotty Cameron guy. So I do have a couple of them, but the head covers are worth like $300. It's nuts, you know. But they watch them like a hawk, so people are gonna try to steal them and all that. But it's so much fun to go on a practice round day if you've never been and just walk around. You get to walk around the putting green and you get to see all the different manufacturers out there trying to get these guys to use, you know. So do I have a Garson grip? I don't have one. So this guy Bernie Garson, Tony Feeney uses his grips. He has a grip that should have been more prepared, but I wasn't prepared on talking about grips. The grip is an angle like this. You know, obviously, but that on the top is an angle. So your thumbs go on the side of it, so it lines up your arm, one higher than the other. So your hands are like that. So that's like a V. So just imagine one thumb there, one there. It's pretty cool. He's got big ones, little ones. He's got flat ones too. He's got a ton of grips, but he's at every tournament. He's on his own, and now he's hooked up with Odyssey and putting Odyssey's name on his grips. You know what I mean, like that. So it's just a lot of fun doing it. But I just got sick of traveling and begging guys to use my mirror. Here, and they're free. Everything's free. Here, take one. A few people take them and still use them. Sun Kang uses them. Roy uses it. Rick Fowler. I didn't ruin his putting, hopefully, but these guys live like kings, man. I mean, and you're there trying to help them. A few guys are a-holes. Keegan Bradley's kind of a douche. Mark Leishman, awesome, good dude. And you're there to help these guys, and I gave some putting lessons, and I helped a few guys with their swings. So the guy that I knew, Kenny McDonald, knows everybody. He's been doing that for 30 years, and it's just a fun thing to do. But I just got sick of traveling, So that was a great learning experience from being a golf pro, playing golf, coaching golf, and then seeing them up close. When you played with them, it's different, but seeing them in a different atmosphere and spending time in that tour van and learning how to, grind their wedges, and it's just amazing, And these guys are so damn good. They know when that grip has 3 wraps of tape instead of 2, or 4 instead of 5, or you know what I mean? It's amazing, and they change constantly. So back in the day, the wedge spot and the wedge in the middle or whatever, and you might still have it because you don't get free wedges, I'm sure, every week. So the last big tournament I played in, it was in Pennsylvania. Tour van's there, and I rated it. I took every wedge and everything I could get out of it. But so you change your wedges based on condition. So if it's firm, you take less bounce. If it's wet, you take more bounce. But they don't wear those wedges out anymore, because they get so many free ones now. It's crazy, So they want those grooves to be sharp, like razors. So there's no more, what's your favorite wedge? And they all have 10, 15 wedges, and they change them. Someone asked me on that on Twitter the other night. I said, I got a zillion clubs. Because you change based on. We can talk more about it, Trent. We just talk. What's your opinion on it? We tried a little bit about it. We can talk more for sure. It's just obviously you heard about the 3 guys didn't get their stay to play on the stay of execution to play on the playoffs this week. So they got booted, but there's still an antitrust lawsuit going against the PGA Tour by those other 11 guys to get them, to play, and I think they want to get world ranking points. So it's going to be a clusterfuck, but it's going to take a while for that antitrust lawsuit going. But those 3 guys cannot play this week in the FedEx St. Jude Classic playoff at all. But what's your opinion on it, Trent? Do you hate them? Do you love them? Do you care about them? You know, what side of the fence are you on? And I was telling Michael there before. I'm on no fence. Okay, cool. And they should have been allowed to play. They did exactly. See, this is again. This is where I don't want to get myself in trouble and alienate people because Saudi Arabia, blah blah blah. I don't give a fuck about. Well, you know what I mean. I don't care. I just want to talk about golf. So yes, they did earn it. You're right. They earned it. And I do watch the live tournaments, and I enjoy it. You know, it's all on at once. You can see everybody playing. Yeah, I grew up playing 72 hole tournaments. I told you I wear long pants. I don't wear hoodies. I'm that guy. I'm dressed up right now. I'm in my freaking bedroom talking to four people. You know, but that's just the way I am. I'm traditional and all that, but I still enjoyed the live. The shotgun's kind of cool because you get to play in the same weather conditions. I don't know if you saw, was it the Players Championship back in May or March? If you played on one end of the draw, you had no chance. I mean, it was a 10 shot difference. You had no chance of making a cut. The other way, you kicked ass. You know, is that fair? Is it supposed to be fair? You know what I mean? Never watched Live. Yeah, it's on YouTube. Hey, we're on YouTube now. So if you want, it's still on there. So YouTube, like this us talking right now is going to be live forever. It'll be on my channel forever. So if people want to watch it, a replay of it. Same thing with the Live Golf. It's on their channel. So they have their own channel. So you can watch the golf whenever you want. So you don't have to watch it. And I know Golf Channel plays replays of all these tournaments too. But you know, you can watch the Live tournament when we're done. It'll be over. It'll take 5 hours. You can fast forward through it. But there's no talk, you know, between every shot for 20 minutes about bullshit. You know, they just show golf and talk golf. Now, that may change. They may get different as they get going with Faraday and maybe Gary McCord coming on. They may talk a little bit more. But when the players seem more, like Sergio Garcia is kind of tough to get to talk on Golf Channel and all that when he's practicing and playing. And but no, yeah, I agree. Right. It's so the majors is 65, PGA till he's 60, I think, whatever, 65 until you can't play. Right. He's in good shape. He's 52. He'll be able to play for 15 more years. I bet. Maybe not compete, but for 10, shoot decent scores. So he's exempt to all the majors except what he didn't win the U.S. Open, only one. So if he goes to qualify for the U.S. Open next year, um, can he play? Like me, when I try to qualify, I can play. So if I sent my check in and I went and I shot good rounds, I can play. You could play, same thing, doesn't matter. Now can Phil play? But he's earned. I don't know where he stands on the all-time money leaders. I think he's second, behind Tiger. I think he's second. And if Tiger didn't, just imagine if Tiger didn't play, Phil would have won 25 more tournaments. Maybe not, because VJ Singh and Ernie Els, all those guys would have grabbed a few too. David Duval, but um, I don't know. He's earned it. But the PGA Tour says if you know, so to leave a tournament, let's say you wanted to go play in the Screen Door Open over in China, but in conjunction we were playing the Dell Technologies Open here. You'd have to get permission from the tour to go play in it. Okay, you can't play an opposite field event of the tour without permission. Now, if they weren't playing that week, you could play. So the Live Tour guys, Greg Norman wanted to put these 8 tournaments not up against big tournaments like the majors or Jack's tournament or Arnold Palmer's tournament. So he tried to put them around those, not to interfere with them. So Greg was actually thinking of the tour, not to put them the same week and get all the best players in Live. They play in that one week. Let the other schmoes like me play in the tour this one, and then they go back to the tour. You know, so they can both live. Live. He keeps saying live, right? Live together. But the tour wants no part of it, and they keep calling it the Saudi-backed tour. And again, Saudi Arabia is in everything. They're probably into iPhone. They're probably into this root beer. In China, what about China? They're no angels with human rights, right? There's a PGA Tour China, PGA Tour Superstore. So that's what bothers me is the hypocrisy of it. Why for them live guys? Greg Norman, who I had I spent time with him back in 80, 89, 90 in Jupiter Island, Florida. Caddy for him, not in the tour, but caddy for him, playing around at his club. Mike spent a lot of time on the driving range. Now he is kind of a hard ass, like Nicholas too. I caddy for Nicholas. I have pictures of these somewhere. Nicholas, I caddy for Trevino. We all in the same area. And I actually caddied for Nicholas in Thailand too for a couple tournaments back in '91 or something. But Greg's kind of a look at me, which he's to get that far in life. But now he's got $1 billion. He's got all those companies and all that. But he's kind of a hard ass. And he tried to do this in the '90s, right? The World Golf Tour or something like that. And that's what gave birth to World Golf Championships. So he came up with an idea. PGA Tour stole it. That's what the World Golf Championships are. There's 5 of them or 4 of them, but they're being diluted now. Not many people are doing it. So now he's trying again with this one, and the PGA Tour is starting to. So he must have a hair across his ass for the PGA Tour. He was obviously he won 2 majors, 2 British Opens, I think. Could have won 7. Got fucked on a lot of shots, people holding out from wherever. But that's not PGA Tour's fault. That's Bob Tway's fault and whoever else hold off against Larry Nye and all this stuff. But I don't know. He said that he earned yeah. Right? What was his name? They stole the WC. Right. They did. Exactly. Right. So Greg Norman wanted a world tour to play everywhere, so people can see golf everywhere. Now, as someone who lives in the East Coast, I want to watch golf. I like watching the British Open in the morning. That's great, but I want to watch it every tournament at 1 in the morning if it's in Australia or in China or wherever. So I'd rather have them play in America, which most of the tournaments are in America, right? Except the British Open's the only major. So everyone outside the United States thinks we're a monopoly keeping all tournaments here, the good tournaments, which most of them are. They're not going to fly to Australia. That's why that President's Cup never plays in Australia, because it's a long way to go, right? And they're playing for free, supposedly. They are technically playing for free, but if you make the President's Cup team, Ryder Cup team, you get exemptions for the rest of your life. So there's something for that. You may not be writing a check, but it's good to make those teams. So and then don't let them fool you that they're not playing for money. Rory McIlroy is not wearing that Nike shirt for free, right? Or Tiger's not wearing that for free. I promise. They play for the money, and they only play in the big tournaments. You don't see them at the small tournaments, at the Barracuda. Not going to happen. They're only going to be at the big ones with the dough, And speaking of that, that's what happened with. So the Live Tour has that $25 million tournaments. Now all of a sudden the PGA Tour finds this extra couple 400 million, right? Now they have more tournaments for next year with more money. So that's good. So the Live thing is actually a good thing for the tour because they copied their model a little bit, And someone 48 players and someone coming in last making 120 grand, that's kind of a lot. It's kind of too much, but something, they should get something. Because think about this. You show up, like, you sign autographs, you got a cab, you got to eat, you got to sleep, right? Sign autographs, you're putting on a show for people. That's where people are watching. Tuesday, Wednesday Pro-Am. If you're low in the list, you're going to play in the Tuesday Pro-Am, right? And they hate playing the Pro-Ams. It takes forever. Now they only play 9 holes, which is good. They all hate the Pro-Am. Trust me, hate it. But they have to play in it, right? Imagine that. They have to play. So now you put on a show, okay? You shoot 75, trunk slammer, miss the cut, you get the donut. 0. Paid your caddy. Caddy made a little bit. He's not going to get paid the whole money because he didn't work the weekend or whatever. He's only getting a little bit. He had to drive there. He had to sleep in his car. That's what was tough for me. Was doing that, not having enough money to do it, and having to work my way, and just hard to do. So I like to see him get some type of stipend or money to pay for something, because they did put on a show for the 4 days they were there. They just didn't make the cut. The U.S. Open, you do get if you get the U.S. Open, you walk out with 10 grand if you missed a cut, or 12. I don't know what it is, but you get something. 120 grand is a lot of money for that. Yeah, I don't think they should get that much, um, but then some people say that takes the hunger out of it. So I want it more because I need it more. I need to make the money, right? So they're going to work harder, maybe. But does um, Shohei Otani? He got a lot in the bank. He still tries hard, right? Golf's a different animal. It really is. There's no guaranteed money. Well, live now, but there was no guaranteed money, no guarantee anything. Ricky Fowler, he's going to be helping me give lessons soon, right? The poor bastard. I mean, 5 years ago, this kid was right now. Maybe he's got too much money. Commercials. That's all out of bullshit. Maybe he's not trying as hard. He's got a baby now and a wife. I don't know. Maybe you know, you can say that for every person, every businessman. I mean, Donald Trump's got a lot of money. I'm sure he's trying to make more money tomorrow. He's not going to say, "Fuck it, I'm not making any more money because I got plenty." So I don't buy that. But they shouldn't make 120 for coming in last. No, but something. You missed a cut, couple 5 grand, 4 grand. Pay your caddy, pay your hotel. You didn't lose money. So Phil Mickelson can afford that. Tiger can afford that. Tom Gillis couldn't afford that. I did, I guess, but it hurts. you know. And then the caddy life sucks. Unless you get a big player. Oh, Ricky Fowler and his caddy just broke up. You're exactly right. The players should get something right. Exactly. They do put it right. They put on a show. They're working. They missed a cut. Trunk slam down the road, right? They get nothing for it. They lost money. Exactly. Right. Right. They did earn it. They earned something, right? Trent, they earned something. They were there. They did something positive. They were on. They could be on the Golf Channel for 2 days, all day, every shot. Missed a cut, right? They're on television using. Let's use Ricky Fowler using Ricky Fowler. Missed a cut. He got nothing. He just barely squeaked into this um, FedEx playoffs because of the live guys. If the live guys didn't go to live, Ricky's down the road. Now he's kept his card because he won something a few years ago, so he's got another year. But if he didn't, he'd have to go back to the Q school. I mean, again, 5 years ago, you would have never thought that. But it happens. It happens. I mean, back in the day, I'm not sure how old you guys are, but David Duval. I mean, I made more money than him one year. He missed like 33 cuts. He made like 7 grand. You know. Ian Baker Finch. It happens to a lot of guys. Like, who was I thinking about today? Crane. Remember Ben Crane? Where the hell? Mahan. Gone. Gone. Still got a ton of money. He's not working at Arby's, but gone. It happens. So when you see these guys play that good and on a roll, Scotty Scheffler, right? He's just another guy coming along. He's not going to be number one forever. He's going to drop. Dustin Johnson and Tiger had like 700, which is a crazy number. What number one in the world? He's a different animal. It's like Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, different animal. You weren't beating him. No. He is by far the best. Again, Nicklaus and him, whatever. But as of lately, he's by far better than anybody. No question about it. No one's even close. Rory McIlroy, fucking, come on. No. Dog's snoring. Hey, buddy. I got a dog and a cat sitting there. It's pretty funny. But yeah, they're good players, obviously great players, but they're nowhere near Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is something else. But people say now, is the competition better than it was when Nicklaus played? So Nicklaus had to beat not Hogan, well maybe Hogan early, but Trevino and Player and Palmer, Watson. Tom Watson was pretty good. There were a lot of good players back then too. Don't forget. You know, because you see more golf now too. Remember back in the day, you only saw it on the weekends at 3 o'clock. Now it's on 24 hours a day. And now you got YouTube and you got the TV and you got Twitter. You can see these people. You can see them practicing. You can tweet to them. So you know more about golf, right? And it's good for me because I'm in the golf business and I want to know everything about golf, so I can help my chat people here and let me be the expert on golf and all that. That helps, but so can anyone else. You know, you can get access to these guys and you get to know. Oh yeah, yeah, right. They're afraid to fail, you know. And again, I disclaimer, I was too. Obviously, I'm sitting here not with them, so. But just as an outside looking in coach now, um, chasing the girls, so don't do that. It could help. I had more fun at night than daytime, apparently, obviously. Um, yeah, you're afraid to fail, and that I was playing, it was, you know, and for money, if you're worried about money, you're screwed. You know, you don't get a drink at the halfway house. You know what I mean? You watched every nickel. Awful. So, but these guys now, if you gave me $100 million when I was 20, I'd have been a player like Ricky Fowler probably. I could hit it just as good, hit every shot, but I couldn't practice as much. Didn't have the money. I wasn't dedicated for sure. I had to be dedicated for sure, but I wasn't. I didn't practice. You know, I remember the New England Open was winning one year. Shot three, six, whatever I shot. I go in bar and I'm shooting the shit with the waitress and my buddies, and you know my buddies had a bad day, whatever. I'm drinking a couple Bud Lights, and you know Brett Quigley, Brad Adamonis, Jay Driscoll, they're practicing around, and I'm in there. Oh, what are they doing? I just beat them. Come on in, you know. And then they went. I went, you know what I mean? I thought it was good enough. I didn't realize it. So that's one tried harder and worked harder at it. But you are afraid to fail. So Rory McIlroy is awesome, but a lot of pressure on him too. You know, there's a lot of pressure on you now. So it's not like a hockey game when you're watching the Bruins and the guy comes off the ice in between periods. He's sweating like a pig. How you playing? We gotta play harder. Fucking league. There's 20 other guys out there with you. Golf, you know, Rory, you got the lead. You've never closed a 54-hole lead in your life. You play bad on this course. You're playing with a guy you hate. How you gonna do tomorrow? You know what I mean? Or whoever, or a rookie winning, right? Like this kid that just won, Tom Kim. I didn't see the whole tournament, but God bless him. I mean, awesome, right? He can handle it. Obviously, he's 20. But you know, you never did anything before in your life. What are you gonna do? You know, that's a lot of pressure, and I couldn't handle it. I'd be like, ah, I couldn't. You know, I can go to driving range, hit every shot fucking perfect. Go play with my buddies, shoot 63 every time. Couldn't handle it. Tom Kim can handle it. Roy can handle it, but then he can't handle it on a different level either. Not that he can't handle it, but you know what I mean. Trying to win the pressure of winning the Grand Slam, right? He's at the Masters. Rory, hi, you never won the Grand Slam. What are you gonna do? How you gonna do it? Right? That's fucking pressure. You don't want to know. You just want to shut up and go. The old one shot at a time. Now, so true. When I started really doing that and not keeping score, fuck your scorecard. And this is not easy to do. You got to hit literally. You got to play golf tomorrow. Your only thing is worry about the first shot. After that, yes, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's different, and yeah, the Live Tour, the 54. I think I got a fruit fly here. The Live Tour it's that's one thing about it. The 54 holes obviously is easier to win than 72. You know, less chance of fucking up, and then you're all out there at the same time, and you don't know what's going on, kinda, right? I don't know what they have for scoreboards out there, so I don't know if they must know what's happening a little bit. But I think on the last day they should play um, like three or four groups off one or two, whatever. You know what I mean? People that are in. So then coming in, there's kind of some heat on you with the people waiting. Otherwise, you know, I'm sure you guys played in the screen on a shotgun before. You don't know what's going on everywhere, so there's a little bit less pressure on you there. But Um, the 54 hole thing is, they say these guys want to play less golf, and that's true, I guess. But that doesn't mean today they want to play less golf. All right, my friend. I'll see you later, Michael. Thanks for stopping in. I'm not sure it makes sense. Why not 90? Well, not enough time, I guess. But how do I get those on here? Trent, I'm using my phone, Trent, because I was trying to get my computer to work and it didn't. Why can't I see that chat? Let me go this way. No. Well, again, this all goes back to 100 years ago when golf started, right? They used to be match play. Think about that. It used to be, what match play is, right? Like the Dell match play. Every tournament was that. You used to play 36 a day. It was crazy. 36 a day back then, you know? Think about this too. Like if you're a professional golfer and you're playing, it's a lot of travel and it's not easy. You got to play. You literally play you play for 7 days, and they're out there all day. They don't just go home. Sometimes, of course, play tonight, right? Or whatever. For 3 days, they play for 3 hours, and it's over. These golfers, it's a lot of travel, and it's again, I'm not gonna, the fiddle, right? It's still a lot of travel. You're never home. It's a lot. You're making a fortune. I get it. But they'd let me play. I'd go right now. But it's not as easy as you think. The travel. You know what I mean? Right. Exactly. So the PGA. So my uncles were PGA club pros. So back in the day, the PGA was formed in 1918, and it was the PGA of America, and they had the tour. They played tournaments. So like now, I'm in the New England PGA up here. We have tournament schedule and we play our local tournaments. In the winter, I don't go to anymore, but we go to Florida and we play in the winter leagues, right? And I'm sure they do that in Texas and California. So back then, they had a winter tour where they'd travel off in the south. And a guy like me, the pro shop's closed. If I was a good enough player, I'd go play like my uncles. I'd go play tour in the off season pro shop, and then it comes out working a pro shop. And then it started to get better and better. Jack Gillis and Hogan and them. Oh, the cat just opened the door. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen. So Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer. Wait a second. We don't want to work in the pro shop. I think we can make money playing golf. So then they had a battle, blah blah blah. So the PGA of America, which I'm a member of, and the tour split up into two different things: PGA Tour, PGA of America. Now, PGA Tour members are members of the PGA of America. That's because so they can play in the Ryder Cup. So back in the day, Hal Sutton didn't get to play in the Ryder Cup because he wasn't a PGA member. So now you're automatically a PGA member. He wasn't. It happened to a lot of guys. Top players in the tour were not PGA members because you had to do a certain amount of things to get your membership, not just show up like they do now. So they couldn't play in the Ryder Cup. So now they just let them all play a Class A3. I'm a Class A6 teaching pro. So the tour and the PGA, back to the story, they broke up. So now, all right, this is the PGA. We'll call it the PGA Tour. Then they started their own division and all that. So there's two separate things. So that people get confused with that. The PGA of America and the PGA Tour. So PGA America is like the father. The PGA Tour is the brother or the son. You know? Not that that's a bad thing, but the PGA America started first, so they just broke off and made their own tournament division. So a guy like my uncle, who was good, but not that good, stayed in the PGA side of it and just worked at the club, made his money, and then played the winter. They still had the winter leagues for the club pros. But then the tour started going all over the country. So that's how it developed. But at first, yeah, it was a huge deal. He told me, oh, no, this is crazy, blah, blah, blah. So a guy like my uncle who had a family was good and won some tournaments, but couldn't play in the tour. He had a family. He lived in Maine. So a lot of people weren't happy about that. And it was match play. Every tournament, match play. Not every tournament, but a lot of them. PGA Championship, you pay 36 holes a day. Walking, right? Caddies and all that. So everybody lost their minds, but it all worked out. You know, so I think with the live thing, that the Saudi money is, besides if someone calls it a gimmick or it's a 54 holes exhibition, that's still, I think the Saudi thing is the mostly what people can't get over. You know, so that, I think that's what's going to hurt it the most out of the, because as I was telling Michael earlier, um, say you're a brand new golfer, little, my cat, my dog, is a brand new golfer, and he watches live and never saw the tour. He thinks that's golf, or like cornhole, right? I watched cornhole the other day. You know, it's great. I don't know. I played in the backyard. I didn't think it was a sport where you can make money, but they are. So maybe he likes to live. Maybe they like the shotgun. You know, some people. But then you say, well, supposedly the people that give them the money killed people. You know, that's the part that's hard to think about and work through, because I don't want to think about it. I don't. Like I said, I just want to focus on golf. Yeah, right. Well, Hank Haney, now that guy's crazy, man. He's something else. He was saying he's for the live. He was saying, someone said the live's an exhibition, and he said, well, so isn't the 3M or the Rocket Mortgage? The only thing that's not an exhibition is the majors. So the 3M is equivalent to a live event in his mind, right? The fields with Tom Kim won. Awesome, right? And Tony Finau, he goes, Tony Finau, how you beat us himself? You know, there's all the best players, right? You know, but he still wins. It's still, you still won. I mean, Tiger didn't play and he won most tournaments he played in, but he didn't play in these little ones, and he just didn't. And Rory McIlroy wasn't there. Ricky Fowler was there because he's struggling. He has to play. You know, but 5 years ago, Ricky, you wouldn't have seen Ricky there. No way. You know, so if you take the Saudi thing out of it, do you think more guys would go faster? So the Saudi's out. AT&T has $1 billion, or Donald Trump has $1 billion. Well, they don't like him either. Oprah Winfrey has $1 billion. She makes a tour. Do you think more guys would jump, or is it still a gimmick? You know, same money, same everything. Everything's the same except the money's coming from Oprah. More guys would jump in a second, of course. You know, and again, 9/11's awful. It's horrible. I get it. But I don't know who was in those fucking planes. I thought it was Afghanistan. We bombed Afghanistan. Biden was at Saudi Arabia shaking that guy's hand the other day. You know, like we said, Trent, PGA Tour China, right? China's no angel in the human rights division, right? Or Nike, right? Shirt that Rory McIlroy is wearing was made by a 12-year-old in a sweatshop, right? Maybe not, I don't know. But that's what they say, you know. And again, I got nothing against Rory. I got nothing against the tour. I'm just trying to lay out the facts, you know. I don't care about live. I don't care about the tour people. I just want to watch golf, like I said. So I'm not, you know, live. It's great. I do watch it. I'm in the golf business. I'm trying to create a golf channel here and a golf talk on Twitter, and you know, create this and have people talking about it and talking regular golf too. We can talk about whatever's happening behind me. I think they're giving lessons or whatever. Help you with your golf game. You know, that's my main thing is helping people with the golf game. You know, now with this YouTube thing and internet and all that, I can help people all over the place. I told Michael there, he left, I think, I'm giving lessons to guys in the Marines in China, Japan. You know, they send me their videos. I send it back, email, talk on this or whatever. It's awesome. Instead of everybody just right in my neighborhood here, you know. So it's expanding it, and I love it. And talk with people on Twitter about it, you know. And I try to get the people from Twitter to come here so I can talk. I can't talk on Twitter typing. You know, I don't want to type anyway. My thumbs are crazy. Why do those things fall out? How do I read? Damn it. How do you read the chat? Oh, here we go. I can't read it. That's just it. Shouldn't. being us for right, exactly, right. That's what I am. I'm a fan of golf. I want golf. I'm trying to study, and I used to. I studied everything. I would hit balls with a long driver, a short driver, one leg, no legs. You know, on my knees, a women's club, a men's club, a steel shaft, a graphite shaft. Tried everything. Lefty, righty. I tried everything, and to help other people. So a thing I did on the Twitter's, and I said, do you plan on because I deal with them in clubs to the Twitterverse. I got like 400. It was amazing, 400, and most of them were they have a mixed mash set of clubs. So I'm giving a guy. This was 10 years ago. Giving a guy on the range, and I'm a Titleist. So I'm hitting a Titleist driver. I don't know which one it was. Try mine. He was hitting his shitty. Try mine. I had my bag there, and he's hitting it pretty good. What kind of shaft is it? I go, don't worry about what kind of shaft it is. Just hit it. And hitting it fine. I go, why don't you go in the pro shop and buy one? Or I'll call Titleist right from the fucking driving range and buy you one. He looks at it. It was an extra stiff shaft. It was this. It was that. He goes, oh, I only use Cleveland equipment. So he had a Cleveland everything. It looked like VJ Singh, right? But wider and shorter. And I'm like, dude, you're not getting paid by them. They don't give a fuck about you. You got to use what you use to help you. And so that's why I posted that question on Twitter is, Ricky Fowler uses Cobra, you use Cobra. Like the little kid. My son used to dress up like Ricky at the tournament. Or do you just use what works? Now I do have other clubs besides Titleist. I got different putters and all that, so I don't have to use them all. But they've been good to me. They're all good. Titleist has good clubs. Now years ago, there was an uneven playing field, especially the ball too, right? So the balls are all the same now. They're pretty much all the same. My Pro Vs here are, they all cut it in half. I have Bridgestone stuff. But Bridgestones they're all good. Bridgestone made the Nike ball. I'm sure you all knew that. But the balls are good. They're all the same. So there's no really advantage in that. It's what you like to look at. Someone was asking me about wedges. He's going to get some wedges. What do you recommend? I said, well, Vokey wedges, Titleist Vokey wedges are awesome, but they're all good. It's like what you like to look at when you look down. Some are bigger than others. So what do you like? You need a big head. You know what I mean? So obviously, I do recommend people when I fit someone or take them out and try to help them. I do let them use Titleist, but I give them what works for them. I'm not going to use like if I was using something else, I would not have said, hey, take the Titleist one. I'm not that guy. Same thing with balls. We go for ball fitting. We'll go on the 50 away. I'll bring as many as I can different brands and let's try them. Oh, so you hit this Rixon closer mostly than the Titleist. Then that's up to them. If they don't buy them or use them, that's not my problem. And as a coach, a teacher, that's half the problem with helping people is they're stubborn. People are stubborn. Um, 3-4 years ago, there's a little 9-hole course I was working at. My cousin was the head pro. I was helping him out. It's a short course, so I'm playing with the member. Nice guy. He practices his ass off, right? He changes clubs. I changed my end over. No, a lot, right? He just buys all these clubs. The club's gonna do it, right? So I'm playing with him, and I'm like 5 under after. The course is easy. I'm playing to him. I was Tiger Woods, right? I'm 5 under after like 7 holes, and I had to go give a lesson. So we cross the street. The eighth tee. He goes, I gotta give a lesson. He goes, oh, you can shoot a 20, no, whatever. I said, no. He goes, how do I get to play like you? I said, well, do what I do. Practice like I practice. This is what I do. I do these drills. I hit, blah, blah. It's not like it's that hard. It's not that hard. If you do a certain amount of drills and stay consistent, you'll get there. But he does it for like an hour and then back to, well, let me try this. Let me try that. You're like, oh my God. You want to blow your brains out. It's like, you want to play like me, but you're not going to do what I do. You're just going to, because you hit a couple bad ones. We're all young and bad ones. That's a fluke. swing is I used to whatever, but I still hit it pretty straight, or accurate. I don't necessarily hit it straight, but I fade it, whatever. And I kind of know where my golf ball's going, and I told him that, and he's looking at me. So there was a net, looks like a big hockey net. So I have one in my backyard, a big hockey net, huge. And you hit into the net. It's like 10 feet. So I put a tee. So if you're aiming dead straight at the net, I put a tee I'm a righty, up on the right, 3/4 of the way up from the ground, a tee. And I try to hit the tee, or right as many times as I can, like push it to the tee. Just 6-iron, boom, 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 boom. I said, do that. I do that as many times as I can. Instead of hitting up the left, hitting over there, hitting over there, hitting over there, I'm just boom, boom, boom. Oh, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. The same. So the ball's coming off the same. It's going to the same spot. It's a solid hit, so I know it's not doing that. And then you go to the range, you can see it and hit it anyways. But did it twice. Didn't hit the tee, or in the air. You don't have to hit the tee. Tee's tiny. But in the area, I don't expect him to do that. Did it twice. Nah, I'm going to open my stance up, and I'm like, oh my God. If you can control the club face and the path of that club, you can play golf. It's like lacrosse, right? I don't play lacrosse, but I throw the ball with my kids. You aim it and throw the stick towards, the ball, the pouch, towards where the guy is, right? You don't do that. It's not going to happen. You do the same thing with the club face. So I do that drill to be club face control and the path. I can hit one low and high. I control that. So hitting into a net isn't a bad thing all the time because you can see where the ball's going, right? Instead of going to the driving range and if you can't miss the driving range, right? Hopefully, so every ball's in position. But trying to hit that part of the net, or with a sponge ball the side of the house or whatever, you're consistently range, and you kind of superimpose that net with a tee there, and then try to hit it out. And it helps you control that club face, and you do it with a wedge. There's so many fun ways to practice and work on your game, rather than, I think it was, I'm not sure if it was Trent or Michael, that I think it was, you can't over teach people. I can't teach you to swing like Roy McIlroy and put you next to him on the picture and have you, he's a different animal than you, Trent, or me, You got to swing like you, and we find out what works for you. And I kind of know what people, from doing it for so damn long, and to how to help people, And you heard the old swing your swing, and that's kind of true to some degree. You still have to have some fundamentals and all that, but it's something that you can do, but have fun with it. I practice on one leg. I've played golf I've hustled people on one leg and shoot par, under par. It's not that hard to do if you do it. So I practice hitting on one leg for balance, rotation, helps me not rush down hard, rather than going back and thinking, oh, don't pull down, right? That's nuts. Or keep your arms straight, or rotate. Hitting on one leg or my feet together forces me to rotate. You have to rotate. So you got to take the thinking out of it and just react to a target. Like, if I can throw a ball, I can hit the computer, no problem. Every time I'll hit it. Guarantee I'll hit it every time. Boom, boom, boom. But I'm not going to go, okay, take it back, turn your shoulder, open up, push your arm, you know what I mean? So that's my method of coaching and helping people, and how to think when they play. And there's so much more to it than angles. And some guys, like on Twitter, so I'm obviously trying to get more people to come here and help more people, of course. That's my job. But some people I can't help them. They're on Twitter showing me their numbers, their path number and this number and on that number, and I'm like, holy, imagine. Again, Dustin Johnson needs to know some of these things, yes, but they really don't either. But the technology's there, and you got to use it. I get it, but not a 10 handicapper. That's crazy. You got to work on yourself and where the ball's going. You don't even need a club to practice. You can practice. I practice my grip right here. Boom. So that's the beauty of this game, is you can practice anywhere. But, me trying to grow my channel here and get the world coming here, make people play better golf, it's not easy. I've been doing this about a month. And I'm up to like 580 people, which is not enough. But it's hard to get people to watch you on here and keep their attention. It's not easy, especially golf. Now, if we were talking, like There's people that talk for 6 hours about, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. I've watched them. It's crazy. Oh, we lost everybody. I bored you. I bored you, so I can get another drink. I'm getting a drink. Oh, I can't breathe. Oh, I'm getting a beverage. I'm not anywhere. I had to get a. Everyone was here, then they left me, so I went and got another drink. Sorry. Is this Trent? Someone new? Who we got? Everyone. Michael left. Trent left. James left. Everyone left me. It's 11 o'clock. It's hard to believe it's that late. So hopefully they subscribed and they clicked on the like button, please. I'm trying to grow this channel. Talk golf. Have fun. No bullshit about trials and shots and you know whats and president bullshit, gas bullshit. Talk some golf, Not just on the Twitterverse here either. This Twitter can talk on Twitter all day here, but you can't get your point across, That's why I get people trying to get people to hear. Talk here. This is where it matters. So, whoever's there, I appreciate you coming on, and hopefully you'll be back on again. I'm on my iPhone because my computer had an issue. That's why I'm on this, and I appreciate you coming in. And if you have any questions, chat, ask me anything. That's what I'm here for. And like I said, click the like button and subscribe to the channel, and then obviously try to hit that there's a bell there, it tells you when I'm coming on live, because I'm new to this not teaching golf, but new to this YouTube stuff, and I'm trying to get better at it, trying to get bigger at it, and I want to help people. It is what I do. It's I'm normally on the driving range helping people and playing golf with them, but I want to talk all my experience. I don't know if you've been here before, but I've seen a lot, been around a lot, played with some great players, stood on the range for hours with Nicholas and Norman and Trevino and Olin Brown and a lot of guys, and just picking their brain. George Burns, and just listening to these guys. And Lee Trevino, he helped me tremendously how to teach. So listening to him and what he did. And I played like him. I had that open stance. I hit the push cut. Now I can fade it if I have to with the irons. I don't fade a driver. I don't think anybody in the world should ever. I mean, excuse me. Always fade the driver. Hook a driver. It's just not enough loft on it. Ball doesn't spin like it used to, so it's harder to do it. My fade, it really doesn't. It doesn't curve. I guess it sometimes maybe, but it's just more of a little block push. Goes a mile. Great shot to hit, which I can help you with. And hey, buddy, my dog's asleep there. So I'm passionate about helping people and teaching the game and talking golf. We've been on for, I don't know, hour, 99 minutes. I don't even know what that is, but I love it. It could go forever. So I might do tomorrow morning, Fairways of Life. Matt Adams has a show on. He goes from 8 to 9. I might piggyback on his show. I was on it this morning, and I got a couple people from there to come to my side. But I don't know when, the best time to do this is. Some channels talking about politics have 50,000 people watching and talking. And half of it is just talking about nothing. But I'm going to have guests on, tour pros, club repair guys, psychologists, friends, whoever, people, students, ask me questions. I'm going to try to figure out how to get a phone call involved where you can call me. Tom, I'm having trouble with this, and I can help you with that. Or obviously you can type in the question and ask me, why do I do this or that? And obviously I'll be glad to help you. But, I'm just sick of the crap on CNN and Fox and NBC and all that. Sick of the bullshit. So I want to talk golf and have some fun. Now, I can talk politics and all that too all day if you want. Maybe some days I'll do that. We'll have a Friday night mishmash. That's my new word, mishmash. Talk about current events in life too. That can happen. But everybody's an expert, obviously. But yeah, in nutrition and thinking, I really learned a lot as I got older how to think, what to think when you're playing, what not to think. I used to get a little freaked out sometimes. Put too much pressure on myself. All right, I gotta birdie this hole, or I went to minor league events, minor mini tours, whatever you call them, and it wasn't easy. I remember the U.S. Open qualifier. I made it. I had to putt this big to make it. I was fucking shaking like a leaf. Made it. I mean, barely. Freaked out because I think Haney was on saying, yips aren't in the mind. 1,000,000% in the mind. I can putt fine. You put that heat on, then you don't think right. Then I learned how to think right. I remember the first time I played on television, they announce your name, and so I always stand behind the ball, take a practice, swing whatever. Then I walk up to the ball, it's probably 6 feet, 5 feet. They announce your name. It felt like 10 miles. I was so scared. And like I said earlier, I go to driving range right now, hit every ball perfect. Go play with my friends, shoot 65, no problem, every ball perfect. Pew, pew, pew. Different world, man, under pressure like that. You put it on yourself. That's what you would think it would be easy, right? But I didn't learn how to think. I should have been saying to myself, like I was watching Annika Sorenstam's goes, I've done this 1,000,000 times, I can do it, I can do this. I wasn't thinking like that. I'm going, oh, fuck, don't screw it up, So I've learned, and with help of others, how to not think like that, what to think, what not to think, and I can help regular players. I don't know what your handicap is or whatever, but we all got to try to do the same thing. My mother used to say to me, "Oh, you do that because you're a pro." I go, I'm a pro because I do that. You know what I mean? It's not, I'm not a pro. You know what I mean? I do certain things that make me a pro, not the opposite. So I try to help my mother. She's whatever, but she's stubborn. Didn't want to listen to me. She, like I said earlier, some people are stubborn. They don't want you. They want me to help them, but they don't want to do what I ask them to do. So, and I tell some people, don't tell them you came to me for that. They're not going to listen to me. Don't tell anybody. I don't want them to think that I didn't help you, because I did help you. You hit it. This is a good story. This guy had shitty old Wilson clubs, woods, right? The ones you buy at Kmart. Driver, 3 wood, 5 wood. Shitty. I actually gave him one of my drivers, and he never brought it back to me. Timeless. This was 5 years ago, 4 years ago. So I said, you can't, the driver stinks, don't hit it, use a 3 wood. No, I need the yard, blah, blah, blah. So we went on the course. We brought his driver, 3 wood, 5 wood. You know what ball went the furthest? The 5 wood. 5 wood. More loft on it, better launch angle, shorter, hit it more solid, gone. Driver couldn't get off the ground. He don't have enough club head speed to hit the driver. Most people don't. They get a 9-degree driver. They're not good enough to hit it. Ball's not going to get off the ground. It's going to cut. Who knows what's going to happen? So I said, throw the 3 wood and the driver in the trash, and use the 5 wood off the tee. That's your new driver. Or go buy a real club. And then I let him use one of mine, and we put the loft up to like 13 and a half, and he could hit it decent. But his pride, ego, stubbornness wouldn't hit the 5 wood because he hit it the best out of the clubs that he had. Don't use the driver. You're not good enough. No offense. Or get better. But the driver sucked. Nope, just fucking hit it in the woods. And I said, please don't tell anyone you know me. Please, because I don't want them to think that I gave you a lesson. You can't hit it. You can't hit it. Very good teacher. I know how to help people. I'm not on TV. I used to be on TV. I didn't try to do all that Golf Channel shit. I probably should have. And I'm starting to do it now with all this Twitter crap and getting more popular. Speaking up more, But Haney couldn't help. Nobody can help this guy. No one. So don't tell anybody. Excuse me one second. My computer's doing something. You reached your monthly stream. Yeah, I know. You know what I mean? So that's the hard part about helping people. You got to be all in. If you're not going to be all in, and I used to charge decent amount of money for people because you had to pay your bills, you had to overhead. I don't anymore. So my online lessons are cheap. They're not expensive. Online coaching is not expensive. You know, and I help a lot of people for free. I'm here for free. This is my living, but I help people for free. We're all in it together. But I want to help people. Like this guy, I'm helping this one guy, one of the two veterans. He listens to me. I tell him to jump. And he go, how high? Because he trusts me, and he's getting better. He's not going to say, well, what if I do this? Well, yeah, you can ask questions, but don't. You know, just do that, and you'll get better, and you'll get consistent. Because if you keep changing, you're going to go up, roller coaster, right? You're never going to be consistent. You change every day, you're never going to get good. You know, I get a nice strong grip, boom, I can play. I know where that ball's going. I don't change anything. I just do it better. I turn faster. I work out more, or whatever. Make more putts. Excuse me. Yeah, I got to hit a little closer and make more putts. How about that? That's what I need to do better. Right? I need to change my grip. And so I used to be for golf tech guys and you know, undercover, and I'd hit balls. Like I had my strong grip, which I think everyone should have, and I hit my 6-9 probably at the time like 185. And I'm at there, you know, I got shorts on, so he doesn't know I'm a golf pro. First thing he says is, "We got to fix that grip," and I go, "Look where the ball's going." Here, look how that won't last. So so he moved my, made it weak. I mean, awful. Left hand, it's just terrible. It was awful. And I go to others, and the same thing. You know, they're trying to get you to swing like Tiger Woods, and you know, or whatever. But if they just watch me hit, they would just say, "You're all set. Leave." Right? So if you come to me for a lesson, and I watch you hit first, I don't just say, "Do it like this. Do it like me. Do it like this." No, I watch you. All right, he's got this, he's got that. The ball's going over there. What's your miss? What's your best shot? What's your worst shot? What's this? What scares you? Blah blah blah. You know, you want a one way ball flight. You don't want to have hook. You know, you don't want the army golf, right, left, right shit. You want the ball go the same way, and that's what I try to get people to do. And if they listen to me and practice like I do, or like I, you know, tell them and think like that, they'll get better. It's that easy. But everybody wants, again, this technology and everything is making people crazy. That they want this perfect looking swing, your arms locked. And imagine playing with a locked arm. Are you fucking kidding me? Crock of shit. You know, keep your head down stuff. No, you don't keep your head down. Your head goes with you, right? Keep your head down? No. You know, left arm straight? No. There's so many myths out there. And then Johnny's helping Jimmy, and Tony's helping Mikey. Mikey's at least great at their jobs, but let me do the golf stuff, you know? And that's what happens when you're a coach, you know. So I'm at the range. You're giving you a lesson. You're hitting them great. All right, I leave for my next lesson, or you'll go home. The next guy comes up behind you, starts hitting his driver. Then he sees you. Your club's laid off, or your whatever. Then you start going, oh my God, right? You can't unthink that, and then you start messing with it. The game's crazy. It's evil sometimes, right? Some people are evil. But everybody knows everything, you know. So there's a range that I go to at night, semi undercover, but I hit him, you know, and the guy, oh, geez, you should try this or that. I'm like, dude, leave alone. I know what to do, you know. Well, you should, you know, your arm, your foot. One lady, she was a member of a private club. I was at a nice range area also. Comes to me for lessons. She's hitting them great, great, great. Comes to me crying, oh, I hit him shitty on the course. I hit him shitty on the course. So, ladies' day, I drive to her course. Pro lets me go out there, go on the second hole. She's already out there. I get out there. I watch her. She smashes it 40 yards into the woods. Other fairway, I think. I start going, good shot. She goes, good shot. She's aiming there, right? That's easy to figure out. She's aiming 40 yards right. So instead of aiming here, she's aiming here, right? So maybe it's my fault. Maybe I should have taught her how to aim better, which I think I did. She just doesn't realize it. They don't think about it. They're so freaking nervous, right? They forget all that shit. Preparation is so important. You got to line up right. You got to aim right. You got to see a target. You got to see where you're going. But they're so worried about their damn swing that they forget about the preparation. So I lined her up. She had another one right down the center. Perfect. So now, if I didn't go there and help her, she'd never come back for lessons. Told all her friends I sucked because she didn't get any better. you know, and that's why lessons on Twitter are so hard to do, you know, without talking to people like talking to you. You know, so once again I start advertising this more and getting more people coming in, and it's just going to be a nice atmosphere where you can ask a question, or like I said, you know, some guy he'll comment on these videos that I do and they'll go, oh, that's stupid, or that don't, you know, well, don't do it. You know, it works for every other person that I help. Whether even the golf pros will do it. One why is it stupid? Because you don't like it, try to, you know, kids, and that's what they are, dickheads, and they can't help it. You know, it makes them feel good to go on YouTube and make fun of people and bully people. You know, not that they're bullying me, but that's I don't know. I think it's great. I got this. So how I got into doing the YouTube? So I did try it like 10, 12 years ago, but I was playing a lot and teaching a lot, and didn't have enough time to do it. So I put a couple stupid videos up on my dog or my kid or something. But then I was watching these trials with Kyle Rittenhouse, and these lawyers were doing it on YouTube. And I'm like, shit. So then I started looking at it more. People, 50,000 people watching it, right? So then I looked into it more, and there's other golf pros doing it. So I'm like, shit. So I'm creating a website as well. It's not ready yet, but the website's going to have memberships to it. And again, you get lessons from me, and monthly thing or whatever, and just more ways to help people. So if you don't have time for me to help you directly, you go on and check out the drills again. So it'll be me doing the drills, or my son, or a model, or somebody doing something or explaining something. So you know, do this drill or do that drill, and you can go on there yourself. And then again, you send me your videos on that OnForm app. Send them to me. Boom, I talk over it, send them back. All right, Joey, you're setting up open lunch square. Try that. Boom. You having a problem? You call me. Hey, what's up? You know, call me at 2 o'clock. All right. Hey, what's happening? All right. Well, the ball. Where's the ball going? Why is it going? Okay. Boom. Or I'm hitting the ball good. Make sure you're lined up right. Right. Make sure your grip is in the fingers, and make sure you're, you know, your athletic move. Be an athlete. Don't be rigid. Just shit like that. So, like you said, as you can hear me talking, I got a pretty good passion for it, and that's the problem. When I go with my wife, if we're at a bar or something having a drink and someone talks golf, I go. She goes, nope, don't, and I just go forever, you know, and then showing them a grip, and it's, you know, it's like it's funny that we all have that in common, you know what I mean? That golfers, we all can talk, the ACR, that we can, who it is. You just meet the guy, like you, I don't even know who you are, but I could talk to you forever about golf. We have that in common, you know, that's cool, you know, we've been there, the struggles, we've all know what it takes, and you know what it's like to hit a shitty shot or hit a great shot. Or I remember the first hole in one of it. I was so happy. I was like, went out to dinner that night, and again at the bar, common theme, right? Telling everybody I made a hole in one. Nobody gave a shit, right? Nobody cared, but I was so happy. And then the golfers that did care, wow, man, that's great. You know what I mean? And or a course record, whatever you do, right? You know, and it's just we all have that hitting that perfect swing, right? That perfect shot, ball takes off, whatever. You know, we're all crazy too to some degree, right? We're all crazy for playing. You know, some people I've thrown my clubs in the trash once in a while. Not gonna lie, you know. And then my iPad's dying. You know, so any questions? Do you have anything to ask me? Ask away. I'm probably gonna go soon, and I think, like I said, tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock ish, right when the Fairways of Life is over, I'm gonna try again to get on here and see what we can do. Because I got to get more people to know I'm doing it, and I got to get more people to get on here so we can talk about it. You know what I mean? No question. You can't hear me? Huh. Too much bright, right? Two more. Hey, there's someone else. I'll stay if more people come in. I'll stay. But ask me if people come and go. People come and go. It's crazy. Question. Another one gone. All right. Well, if you're watching this on the replay, I'm going to wrap it up. It was a great chat, great talk. Tom Gillis signing out.